Why I stopped fighting for a marriage I was the only one trying to save. There's a very specific kind of heartbreak that happens when you realize you're fighting for a marriage. Your spouse walked out of months before they ever packed a bag. I didn't lose my wife to another person. I lost her to indifference. And honestly, that's harder to compete with. I'm a 37-year-old guy living in Colorado. And up until last year, I was the type who believed any marriage could be saved if you just worked hard enough. My parents were old school, stay committed, push through, love always wins. So that's what I tried to do. For years, my wife, let's call her Rachel, started drifting long before I noticed. At first, it was little things. She'd come home later. She'd forget to respond to texts. She'd sit on her phone through dinner. I kept telling myself it was stress, work, burnout, anything but what it really was. She was already detaching. The turning point came during our 5th anniversary. I booked a cabin in Breckenridge, a quiet place overlooking the mountains. I imagined we'd reconnect, talk, rebuild. I had this whole hopeful movie scene in my head. But instead of romance, she spent most of the trip FaceTiming coworkers, scrolling through Instagram, and announcing she was bored. I remember standing on the porch that night, looking out at the snow, wondering what I had done wrong. Later, I learned it wasn't about something I did. It was about something she stopped feeling. I convinced her to try counseling. She agreed reluctantly, like someone agreeing to help move a couch they don't even like. During the second session, the therapist asked Rachel, "Do you want this marriage to work?" Rachel actually shrugged, and said, "I don't know. Not really." I will never forget that moment. The therapist looked at me with this soft, sad expression, like she already knew what I didn't want to accept. On the drive home, Rachel rolled down the window and said, "Can we not make this a big emotional thing?" As if she hadn't just quietly detonated the foundation of our life together. That was the day something inside me shifted. For months after that, our home felt like a waiting room. Two people sitting side by side, existing but not connecting. I tried. I planned date night. I wrote her notes. I did the chores she hated. I asked about her day, and she'd give these one-word responses. Eyes still glued to her phone. You can't pour water into a cup with a hole in it. But I kept trying anyway. One evening, I cooked her favorite dinner. Spent hours on it. Candles, table set beautifully, the whole thing. I wanted us to talk, just talk. She walked in, glanced at the table, and said, "I already ate with coworkers." I told you that. She hadn't. Then she walked right past me and shut herself in the bedroom. I remember standing there in the kitchen, looking at the plates I'd set out, the candles, the stupid little effort I had poured my heart into. And in that moment, something in me finally went quiet. It wasn't anger. It wasn't grief. It was clarity. I realized I was trying to resuscitate a relationship she had already pronounced dead. A week later, I told her, "I'm done being the only one fighting." She didn't cry. She didn't argue. She didn't ask me to reconsider. She just nodded, like she'd been waiting for me to finally catch up. We divorced 3 months later. Clean, emotionless, like signing paperwork for a car you don't want anymore. What I learned, sometimes love doesn't end with screaming or cheating or betrayal. Sometimes it ends with silence, with someone who stops choosing you, day after day, until you're the only one left trying. And I learned this. A marriage can survive almost anything, except one person giving up. Lack of effort is louder than any argument. Loving someone who's already gone is the loneliest place you can be. Today, I'm rebuilding, slowly, and I'm happier than I've been in years because I'm finally giving effort to people and relationships that give something back. And if anyone out there needs to hear this, stop trying to save a marriage you're drowning in alone. Love shouldn't require begging.